Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahashah Ba'ashem Rawah Kodash Dabala on the son to the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, I wanted to make a video because you have these Arabs, these Ishmaelites, claiming that they are the ancient Egyptians. And they have a whole movement going on around now that started no, wait, let me say it good. It bombarded after that Netflix series, which is named damn that female, Cleopatra, right? So they depicted Cleopatra as a so-called dark-skinned female, a so-called black female, but in reality Cleopatra was actually a devil, an Edomite that was from the Ptolemy family, which is in the book of First Maccabees and Second Maccabees. And Ptolemy was an Edomite, which is a so-called Caucasian person, and he got into Egypt after that the real Egyptians fell, which are the Hamites, the dark-skinned people that sometimes look like us, because we're not Africans, we are Israelites, just like a Chinese and the Japanese. They look alike, but they're not the same. Chinese culture is, for example, Kung Fu. I know there's. Let me just focus on that. The examples. And Japanese culture is samuraiism, for example. The Japanese have the mangas and stuff like that. The Chinese have their other things, the herbs. Yeah, China is known for a lot of herbs. Japan is known for a lot of anime, manga, and games and stuff like that. Mangas and stuff like that, right? But anyway, we're not the same as the Africans. There are different tribes and different people in Africa. But let me play this.
It's not about black and white. It's about the continuous culture appropriation and falsification of history that has been done by what the so-called Afrocentrist movement.
Egyptians are angry. Many people from Egypt are claiming to be the victims of a plot. A plot concocted by a mysterious group of African Americans who belong to a sect called Afrocentrism. These people are often portrayed as desperate individuals searching for identity and greatness because their own history lacks excitement. It's said that they want to claim Egypt as their own, simply because it's located in Africa. At least that's what we can hear all over the media these days.
But the thing is, that's why you find people like Kevin Hart, who subscribes to these theories, who claim that his ancestors built the pyramids. I'm sorry.
There's been a whole movement on this.
Yeah, I have to understand that's an Arab with blue eyes, so you already know what he actually is. He's a Greek baby, because the Greeks were the ones that went over there and raped them into light skin, because the Arabs used to be dark. Because one of the sons of Ishmael, he was actually called Kedar, and Kedar means dark-skinned man, as you can see it here. Here, Kedar, which is here, Genesis 25:13. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names, according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nabajoth, and Kedar, and Abdil, which is Abdel nowadays, and Mibsam. Until this day, you have them Arabs calling themselves Abdel. So you have to understand that these Arabs, they actually kept certain names until now, man. That's like more than 4,000 years ago. More than 4,000, 5,000, no, yeah, 5,000 years ago. Because we are now 2,000 years after zero. And then 3,000 years ago was then, 3,000 BC, 2,000 BC. You could say 4,000 years ago. Right. So, yeah, Kedar, which means dark. And if you go down to the Genesis lexicon, Gesenius lexicon, it means black-skinned man. So what did he call his son? He called his son black-skinned man. Is that something that you would do if you look like this? If your son looks like this? No, you're not going to do that.
Who claimed that
Egypt for Egyptians, with apparently young Egyptians standing to fight for their...
This is what they do. This is what these Arabs are doing now. They are modeling themselves to be this. The Hamites.
And showing that they look just like their ancestors.
See? These are the things that they just recently built, man. These things are not hundreds, thousands of years old. These are the things They whitened this. They broke the nose so that it can fit this one. They're lying to you. These are a bunch of Arabs that live in that country over there calling themselves Israelites. Oh, sorry. Calling themselves Egyptians. Look like I see Native Americans look like this. I've seen Snoop Dogg look like this. Sorry, what am I saying? That basketball player. I forgot his name. Let me see if I can find it. Basketball player. It looks like a pharaoh. What's his name? Black basketball player. I forgot his name. Black basketball player. I literally forgot his name. Wait. Right, I found it. Now, if you see this guy, you look at his face, and then you look at this thing, then you should come to the conclusion for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just look at it. Look at this thing over here, and then look at him. You know? And I know it was a meme somewhere. Wait. Yeah, anyway, I couldn't find it. But the point is that he is not a Hamite. But just like the scripture says that we look like the Egyptians. Or Ethiopians, sorry. Right, Ethiopians. Which is Amos 9 and 7. Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, saith Yahweh? Have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt, which is Mizraim, and Ethiopians or Cush, and the Philistines, which are Canaanites, from Ketur, and the Syrians from Kir. But the point is that, wait, going back to over here. Okay, Kedar, link this here. Let me go back to over here. Let me make this point real quick. He even looked like a Native American, this guy. Look at him. This guy. Anyway. Which the Native Americans also used to build pyramids because they got that knowledge from ancient Egypt. And you have to understand that there are a lot of pyramids in South America, North America. Let me double check that one. I know it is, but I wanted to check one. Pyramids built in North America. You had pyramids in America, North, Central, and South American monuments. So you had them all over the place. And until this day, ain't no fucking Arab built a pyramid, but the Native Americans built it. How come? Because they were the ones that already built it back in these days. Exodus chapter, and they kept that knowledge, by the way. Exodus chapter 1 verse 10. You can read the rest for yourself if you have the time. Verse 10. Come, and let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us. Talking about the Israelites. Because the Egyptians, they did this to the Israelites. And so get them up out of the land. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters, slave masters, to check out for your tasks. You know, the tasks that you need to be doing. Taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. So what are the treasure cities? What do you think that they're stealing in the pyramids? This is what they're taking in the pyramids, the treasures. The treasures that they have. Or had. Because a lot of them are now in the museums. Which is disrespectful in itself. If you go now to let's say a rich Caucasian person dies, right? Like a Rothschild. Buried with, let me see, diamonds or whatever. With gold or whatever, right? Buried with gold, whatever. And then you, one of these mutants, these Edomites like this one over here, whatever, man. Just a rich Edomite, whatever. He's buried with gold, right? Buried with gold. And you just go over there and dig it up and take the gold. What do you think is going to happen to you? Well, the same thing that they did to the Hamites. But you're going to pay for that. Oh, you're going to pay for everything that you did. You Edomites, you're going to pay for everything anyway. But I'm just telling you so that you know, so that you keep it in mind. See, we hear about, putting comfort upon the Jacob descendants. Comfort you one another with these words, with these scriptures, so that you be at ease with the spirit, so that you know that there's going to be a payback. But also for the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, so that you understand stuff, what's happening upon the planet Earth, and why it's happening to our people, for example, right? And why it's going to happen to them too. That also. Pithom and Ramses, which everybody should know, the pyramids of Ramses, pyramid of Ramses. Yeah, he didn't build it because they built it for him. Yeah, he didn't build. No, Ramses himself did not build pyramids during his reign. No, no. Well, what did it say here, right here in the scriptures? That's why we know that these devils don't know anything. They don't know anything. But we know through the scriptures that the Israelites built those temples for them, those treasure cities for Ramses. Well, you had Ramses the second, you have whatever Ramses third. It doesn't mention that. It mentions only Ramses. So, of course, which is a title, just like how king is a title, or Cleopatra is a title, by the way. Cleopatra is a title, which was an Edomite, yes, but just like how they call King Elphis evil. They call Elphis the king of rock, right? To them, he is the king, but we know that our Elvis. Otis Blackwell. Yeah, Otis Blackwell. I taught Elvis how to sing. And you can see him on this show here, which is, what is the show again? The late night show, or something like that, with this guy called David Letterman, if I'm correct. I'm going to put this link in the description box so you can check out that interview. And he shows you there. And then if you listen to the guy, Otis Blackwell, you will hear where Elvis oppressed my people has gotten everything that he got, all the tricks and all that there, okay? Right, so now going back to over here. We built those cities. We built a few, not all of them. We built a few of these treasure cities, which are the temples, the pyramids. That's why the Native Americans had that skill and that knowledge to still make it in those days, you know, after they went to the Americas, the so called Americas. Right. So they still had that skill. That's why. And until this day, the Arabs have never built a pyramid, because they don't have that skill, because they was not enslaved. They're not the Israelites. They were never enslaved by the Hamites in order for them to learn this, be capable of this. Right? They had it in their mind, and the Native Americans, when I say Native Americans, I mean everybody native to the land they call America right now, which is North America, Middle America, and South America, and also Canada, right? Do you have pyramids in, let me see, pyramids in Canada? I don't know about that. Let me see, ancient pyramids in Canada. Oh, so I guess so. Is the proud owner of the largest man-made powder on the planet. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. But I would assume it, because I was thinking it in my head that there must be pyramids over there, because the natives were there also. So they made it after their, how you call that thing? After their captors. You know, they learned it from their captors, which were the Hamites in those days. But anyway, enough of this. I didn't look too much into that, but I know 100% of the South American pyramids and Middle America. I know 100% that there are pyramids there. 100%. North America, if I'm correct, there are pyramids there too. In North America. A map. Let me see that. Pyramids in America. Oh, shit. Right. Pyramids in America. Pyramids in America. Largest pyramid. Let me see here. Mesoamerica. I don't know where this is. Is it North America? I want to know if it's North or South America, because they don't teach you. They don't teach anybody. Why would they, by the way? North, Central, and South America monuments. Okay, cool. I'm gonna check this out later. You can check it out for yourself. I'm gonna leave this in the description box. So let me focus on this thing again. Sorry, here. Right.
Have you noticed that most of these people are
See, they want to make you think that they are the ones that are. I have a point, because wait. They want to make you think that they are the ancient Egyptians, but they're saying to them, to the world and to themselves, that they descend from Abraham. So that is where the fault comes. A lie. You cannot be of two nations at the same time.
most of these
These things are all new. This is new. This is new. So-called broke the nose, as if like, oh yeah, we go. They faking it, because the real noses of the real statues, they broke those, right? And then they make this one look like, oh yeah, see, it's old. That's why the nose is broke also. They probably lightened this thing over here,
people are extremely racist.
and you and you have to understand. You had, how you call that thing? You had to understand. You have to understand these pale Arabs. They wasn't even around before the Greek Empire, because the Greek went around and basically raped the white into them. You know what I'm saying? And then they kept around with themselves and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm gonna leave this link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. And of course, this devil also is this real
You
devil.
notice all these things, except if it's related to slavery. But that's not a
See,
surprise.
these are the things that they put up on there,
We see
because
how
they
things
believe in themselves that they are the Egyptians, right?
talks
My ancestors and stuff like
about
that.
indigenous Africans.
No, they were dark skinned, but they were not black. But they're not nigger.
You see, they're dark skinned, but they was not black. They was not nigger. So, we listen. The time will come when we will get this little monkey and we will put him in slavery. But for now, it's cool cat. Because me, I don't know. Let me leave it at that.
Because look at the lips of the.
Look at the lip, the little fucking chimp lips that you have. But anyway, let's go back to over here. Now we're gonna read the scriptures to see how these devils are lying. That's a devil, by the way. Genesis chapter 10, verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan. So Ham had 4 sons, and from those sons came the nation of Ham, the Hamites. Okay. Now go into the book of Exodus, which is here. Egypt. What is Egypt? Egypt is a Greek word, right? Now it says here the name Egypt comes from the Greek Egyptus, or Egyptus, right? So this word basically doesn't even exist. That's like calling. Hey, get out of here, flee. It's a fruit fly. That's like saying that Japanese people are Japanese people. How do the Japanese people, Japan, how do the Japanese people call Japan? And Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, their dwelling places to all generations. This is what they think. They call their lands after their own names, and they call the people after their own, how they want to call it. Because the word Ethiopia, is actually Cush, but the word Ethiops is it means dark skin. Burnt skin, mean in Greek. The Greeks named it. The Roman Latin, but this is Greek. But you had the Latins named it Ethiops, and the ancient Greeks named it Ethiops or whatever. Charred complexion. What is charred? It's burned. what did the Greeks say about Ethiopians? The Ethiopians, whatever described, were thought to be the tallest and most beautiful people in the known world. And what did the Heavenly Father say? For example, here in the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 14. Thus saith Yahweh, the labor of Egypt, Mizraim, and the merchandise of Ethiopia, which are the Cushites, and of the Sabians, men, men, these people, the Ethiopians, the Sabians, and the Egyptians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. Okay, you can read the rest for yourself if you have the time. And if you go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 9, verse 1, hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go and to possess nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven. For example, if you look at this over here, for example, then you will see here this. You will see this. Cities great and fenced up to heaven. Until this day, they can't do that. But anyway, this is the greatness of the Hamites, because the scripture said that they was great. That's why they even trying to make you think that the Hamites, that aliens built the pyramids instead of so-called dark-skinned people, which we are not those people, by the way. We are Israelites. We were slaves under these people that built these great things, right? But I have another example. Right, I got it right here. Now, for example, as you can see here, he has a cow in his hand and hold it like a dog. And here, on the other side of the, in another hieroglyph, you can see a cow, and then you see normal-sized people. So they wasn't stupid trying to make mistakes and stuff like that, or making mistakes by accident, or trying to. This is a tomb that they found. Of course, they're not going to show you that there was a big mummy up in there, but you can imagine, how did they move this? Okay, go figure. The big people did that. This is a basan where you can wash your hands in. Look how small this person is. And then, of course, there's the hieroglyph with the cow again. And then you have here two people, a big one and a small one. Here you have a tomb. This is being carried. Here you can see it. This is a coffin being carried by 1, 2, 3, 4 people. One coffin. Of course, this is a deer, not a cow this time, a deer. And here you can see a person with a normal size man with a deer. Of course, here you can see the big stones and stuff like that. And here you can see that this big guy is actually lifting up these stones. But then look how big this stone is compared to this person. As you can see here is the same thing. If you want, I can put these pictures in the description box so you can check them out for yourself. You even had big females that kept deer like a dog. Like, this is a dog. Look, they hold a leash. They hold in these deer on a leash. And of course, you have these big statues. This is how big these people were, man. This is a live statue of this person, like a real live statue. You even had big geese, like ducks, but then geese. You had deer. He holding a deer in his hand, just like that. And if you think this is far-fetched, I got the scripture right here. Deuteronomy chapter 9 verse 1. Hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven. Remember that part, because I'm going to get back to it. A people great and tall, the children of the Anakims, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard say, who can stand before the children of Anak? Now these were the children that were in the land, were the children of Canaan. You have to understand that. I'm reading about the children of Canaan. If you can read also the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, which says that, let me see here. Deuteronomy 7:1. When Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and had cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou, which were Canaanites, because they was in the land of Canaan. And what is the land of Canaan? The land of Canaan are where the Israelites are. The Israelites went, let's say that. which is the promised land to the Israelites by the Heavenly Father. But I'm gonna go back to over here. I'm gonna get back to that later. Right, where was I again? Here, sorry, right. Okay, now going back over here. Now, picture. Oh yeah, let me just get to the picture. You had big dogs back in those days, but let me just get straight to the point I was trying to make here. Like I said, oh yeah, no, this is the chain around his neck. The chain around his neck, but that's not what. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is the thing that the big people was actually using to wash their hands, for example, or large basins, basin, or however you call it in the English, but yeah, a basin or basins, which is this. Nowadays, modern day basins are this. Which is your sink. That's your modern day basin or basin. I don't know how you pronounce it, man, but I never heard it. I never heard anyone say it actually. I just read it, so I don't know how you pronounce it. But this is a basin or a basin, right? A modern day basin. Now the ancient ones were this. Ancient. Huh? It's a game. No. Yeah. Okay, this one. Oh, okay. Look at it right here. Right here. As you can see, right? Oh, Renaissance and Giant and stuff. Okay, so they know, but then are they gonna teach you? No, they're not gonna teach you. That's why the Heavenly Father is waking up His people, His men, in order for us to do that. And then therefore you gonna go further and do it yourself, because you will. You will talk about this, especially if you find this interesting. Like for example, me. I'm interested in these type of things, so I like that. Yeah. So okay, now going back to over. Oh yeah, I had another one. Yeah. The people were so big that it was as big as giraffes, and they had them on leashes too, like a dog, by the way. And of course, this is a person, but then you have this door. For what is that? Huh? Huh? Just ask yourself, man. Just ask yourself. Okay, this is a person that stands over here, and this is a person that stands over here. So it says in the scriptures, it says, Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 2. A people great and tall, the children of the Anakims, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard, say, who can stand before the children of Anak? Right now, verse 1, it says here, Hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven. Doesn't this look like it's going up to heaven, especially if you're so small? And you have to understand, look at this solid piece over here. This solid piece from here, this thing here, and to here, like this thing over here. How did they get it there? You should let that sink in. This is solid, like a solid slab of brick or whatever the hell that thing is, stone, man. How did they lift it up over there? How did they get it there? you should let that sink in. Hey, you can see the picture right here. That's how they did it. Here, the big people did that. The giants did that. Yeah, the big people. So right now, going back to over here, right? So it's this fly is really irritating me. Okay. Wow. You. He wants to play. Sorry. I know they want to play. Yeah, they want to play. But Genesis chapter 10, verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan. Okay, so now what's Mizraim? So now if I go over here, Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And the Heavenly Father spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Okay, Egypt. Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. Here. Hebrew 47:14. Hebrew 47:14. Mataza Rayam. Mizraim, basically, in the English. Mataza Rayam, right? Because if I go and check out this word, which is, Genesis 10, here. If I check out Genesis chapter 10, verse 6, is going to be the same word. Gen 10. and 6. Here, Mizraim, which is what? Hebrew 4714. It's the same thing as this one. Hebrew 4714. Matazarayam. Matazarayam. I'm going to click on it. It's the same thing. Matazarayam, Mitzrayim in the English, and here, it's the same thing. Section of Africa. Because you have people that say that Egypt is not a part of Africa. Really? Are you going to let these devils just... You know what? The funny thing is, they actually do trick you, because it was given unto them to deceive the world, the four corners of the earth. And they're doing such a good job that they have these children nowadays talking about a man is a boy is a girl. He feels like that, so that's what he is. Okay, so yeah, if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. That's the book of Matthew 24, and the one that I just named is the book of Revelation 20, where it says that he will go out to deceive the nations. Wait, he will go out to deceive the nations. Revelation chapter 20, yeah, here, verse 3. That he should deceive the nations no more till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. That's Esau did that. Revelation 20 and 8. And then he was locked up for 1,000 years, right? And he shall, Revelation 20 verse 8, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth. So now he is deceiving them, and he is going to gather them to battle in the World War III, right? But you're going to be burned with fire once that time comes, which is that nuclear fire, the lake of fire and brimstone. And fire and brimstone are one of the ingredients of a nuclear bomb, right? If you watch the movie Oppenheimer, which before that movie even existed, we already knew that fire and brimstone is needed to make a nuclear bomb, or even an atomic bomb, or just a bomb. Brimstone. Need to have brimstone. Right. So now going back to over here. Okay, check this out. So I'm going to try and finish it off. Now this is the book of Genesis chapter 16 verse 1. Now Sarai, Abraham's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian. So wait a minute. Abraham had an Egyptian wife. So how can the Arabs be Egyptians while the Arabs are saying that they come from Abraham, as you see here? No, wait a minute. Where did I put it? Didn't I put it somewhere? Anyway, but these Arabs, they say that they come from Abraham. Yeah, I have it somewhere. Wait, let me see. Here. Why? Yeah, check this out. Why do Arabs call Abraham their father? Abraham's narrative in the Quran indirectly refers to his role as one of the great patriarchs. So what is patriarchs? Okay, what is a patriarch? The word is derived from the Greek again, patriarch, whatever, meaning chief or father of a family. What family? They say that they descend from Abraham, the Arabs, which is correct. They do descend from Abraham. They are Hebrew Ishmaelites. And Esau, the so-called Caucasian people, they are Hebrew Edomites. And then we, the slave descendants and the Native Americans, North, South, Middle America, Canada, and the Latinos, which are Native Americans also, but they kind of mix with Edomites. They mix with, the so-called Afro-Negro tribes. And of course, they mix with the Indianos and stuff like that. Right, so they are them too. They are Israelites too, on their father's side. Because you have a lot of these South American people. This is what they're doing there in South America. Wait, Brazilian women. Demand for American sperm is skyrocketing in Brazil. Sperm buyers in Brazil, which is more than 50% black or mixed race, Native Americans also and stuff like that. Natives. Yeah, when I say Native Americans, I don't mean only North America. I mean the whole continent, both continents, North, Middle, and South America. Right, have an overwhelming preference for Edomite blue-eyed donors. So you have a lot of children over there that are actually Edomites because they import their children their sperm from Europe, and of course America. Why are Brazilians choosing Caucasian men with blue eyes? Because the females, they see the power, they see the money, they see the benefits for having a light skinned child for their skin. Females are by nature traitors. That's why you have this this document called Why Women Destroy Nations. Wait, right. I'm gonna put this link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. And if you can see, in the time of Japan War, you had all these females that betrayal. It starts here. You had in the time of this is with the Nazis, the Dutch, the Belgian, and the French females. They was actually having sex and having Nazi boyfriends and stuff like that. And then let me see, sleeping with the enemy. That is what the French women was doing. That is what they started the baby boom. So all of them got pregnant during the time of this guy Fichi, whatever, right? And then you had when it fell, they got scorned in public. Wait, sorry, sorry. Let me drink. Right, they got scorned in public. Yeah, sorry about that. They got scorned in public, and then they sprayed the Nazi sign upon their forehead. Here, the forehead, they shaved their heads and stuff like that. And you know who was also doing it? The Japanese females. But it's here. The Japanese females in the time of war, they was doing it also massively. That's why you see Asian females, they flock onto Edomites. Why? Because they see that power. They husbands, the men of their nation, they got their ass whooped. And then therefore the females, the Japanese woman who married the enemy, you know what I'm saying? That's what they did. No blame or responsibility. They don't take that. Because what they want to do is they want to have a good life, you know? Shit, I just passed over that picture. Shit, again. This is what they was doing. But you know what? Check this video out for yourself if you have the time. I'm going to put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. Let me finish up this video before it gets too long. Now already, okay, let me see. What did I cover already here? Right. Genesis chapter 16, the rest of verse 1. And she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. So, if these people that call themselves the Arabs, right? They call themselves Egyptians, right? Then therefore they would say that they do not come from Abraham, because the funny thing is Abraham, before Ishmael was even born, right? Because the mother of Ishmael is Hagar, which was an Egyptian woman, yes. Which was a Hamite, yes, a dark-skinned Hamite woman, probably very, very, very beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Probably very dark and very beautiful. She was so dark that Ishmael, his son, was named dark-skinned man. But like I said, in the time of Greek, this is a Greek baby. He might as well be Edomite. But anyway, but you have to understand, if all those females, let's say the Greek babies, they raped all these females, right? And then, of course, some of them are daughters. And then when the Greek Empire fell, then you had the Arabs come back again into power and then taking those females as their wives, because there was no protection on that time. They would just take you and make you pregnant, and then that's what's up. And then therefore the children would be lighter, but the children would be Ishmaelites. You see what I'm saying? You know, it switches genealogy again. If you let's say let me see, if I make a child with, you know, let me see, Edomite, I'm just giving you an example, or a Moabite, whatever. And I have sons and I have daughters, but my daughters went and had children with Ishmaelites or Chinese people or whatever. Those children, the bloodline is broken over there. The bloodline is not mine anymore, it's theirs. So now those children, let's say they move to another country, those children don't belong, those children that my daughter will get, those children don't belong to my bloodline. And then therefore, it is theirs. Well, that's the same thing that happened in the time of the Greeks. When the Greek Empire fell, you had the Ishmaelites come back and then started taking those females. But the sons, that bloodline will stay forever, as long as they keep making sons. So some of them Arabs are Edomites too. Just like how you have in the midst of Israel until this day, you have Canaanites. which is mentioned in the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 21. Yea, every pot, we are those pots, in Jerusalem, because we're a tree, we're planted. In Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness unto Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. And all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them, and seethe therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of the Lord of hosts. So there are Canaanites until this day amongst us. And the Lord said, once he sets us up in our own land again, once we have that power, we worship the true King, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, then the Heavenly Father is going to do away with all the tear babies in the midst of us. The tears, the Canaanites, the tear babies are the children of Esau in the midst of us and stuff like that, right? And of course, the other nations, they also made children with the females of our nation. Those children are going to be taken out of the, in the midst from among us, from out the midst of us, right? But let me read on. Now I'm going to, let me see. You can read this for the you can read the rest of this if you have the time. But the point is, Abraham, his wife, was an Egyptian. So how can you call yourself coming from Abraham while Abraham had an Egyptian wife? So that means that the Egyptians were already there. They already existed before Abraham, right? Because the Egyptian empire was greater. Look in the time of Joseph. The Egyptian empire was the ruler of the planet Earth, man, and they was big people too. Just like their brothers, the Canaanites, right? In the land of Canaan, which is the land of Israel. Right. Those people were big too. Going on. Now, let me see here. Verse 11. Genesis 16:11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael. So Ishmael came after that the Egyptians were already established. So that's one, just another cut for these Arabs. Because the Lord had heard thy affliction, and he shall be a wild man. There is no person on the planet Earth that loves to blow themselves up more just for their God's sake, and also just to win the enemy. Now you have kamikaze and stuff like that, but how far did that go? Huh? What's the last time you heard about a kamikaze attack? You don't hear that shit no more, man. You won't hear that shit no more. Look at the Japanese people back then. This is the Japanese men now. Do you think that this motherfucker would do a kamikaze on himself, just trying to fuck somebody else up? Man, he'll make his belly button hit the table before he does a kamikaze attack. He'll make his belly button hit the table for Esau. He already looked like a girl. What are you talking about, man? Japanese men used to be like this. They're men. These were the kamikaze motherfuckers. They would kill themselves just to save their families or family members, or have honor and stuff like that. But look at them now. Do you think that they would do that? Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Who does the kamikaze attack? The real kamikaze. Those wild men, those Arabs, which the Lord said that they will be a great nation also. You know, and they are a great nation. Look at them. I mean, like the riches of Arab princes and stuff like that. Riches of them, like houses, mansions. No, you can't see it. Mansions. That shit. I didn't type in that. Okay, cool. Right. Yeah. These are great people, man. Look at the things that they're building. Look at the power that they have. You know, the money is power, by the way. The glory that they have. Saudi Arabian prince in Los Angeles. This is his house. 40 million. This is nothing. These rappers can't even buy this, man. And to have a 40 million, you need to have double of this amount in order to maintain this house. So you need to have triple, actually. You know, you need to have about 120 million in order for you to actually, you know, basically have this house, because you're going to have to maintain it clean. You have to hire people. It's nothing for them. They're trillionaires. These Arabs are trillionaires. Okay? They have that oil money. Every nation on this planet Earth needs oil. And the Arabs got it. They're sitting on it. That's how the Lord made them also a great nation. But loose aside from that, These Edomites, they couldn't win the war with them neither. You would think that these guys have like a bunch of sticks and a bunch of weak guns and stuff like that. Oh boy, they are determined. Determined. That takes you far. You sometimes, I'm gonna give you the last example. Sometimes you see a guy that is not as really as handsome as the so-called next man, but he has one of the most beautiful women on the in the neighborhood. You'd be like, what? Huh? How did that happen? He's determined. He's determined. He, I don't care what you say. He is determined. So that shows you that it's not always looks all the time that gets the girl. Be determined. You're gonna get her. Believe me. But don't scare her too, because sometimes you might come over as like, hey, you scare her like, hey, shit, he's here all the time. All the time he's here. You know what I'm saying? Just subtle. Just sneak, just manipulate her. You can manipulate chicks, man. See how the serpent got Eve. All you need to do is be smooth with it, like a smooth criminal. And you are a criminal, but just be smooth with it. Anyway, they're determined. Esau couldn't really beat them up. That's why he had to make him sell out. And they will, because these people are wild. But anyway, going on. Genesis chapter 17, verse 19. And the power said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, because she was barren, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. This is the second son of Abraham, which is our forefather, the Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and I will make him fruitful, and I will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. So this is the promise. And she was 90 years old, because she said here, 24. And Abraham was 90 years old and 99 years old when he was circumcised in the and this was 13 years old. Yeah, this is the son that he got with Hagar. Wait, I think I already put it somewhere else. Genesis 17, 16. This is 17. Where is it? I think it was 19 then, where it says that she's 90 years old and she was 90. Wait, it says it right there. Here, oh shit. Genesis 17, verse 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? Right? And Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear? She was after her menopause, which is about 60 years old. So, and before that, when she used to get her period, she was barren even then. So it didn't work that good. It didn't function. But the Heavenly Father opened up the womb and she birthed a child after the manner of women, because it says right here, if I'm correct, after the manner of women. Let me see. Here, verse 11. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it stopped to be with Sarah after the mannerisms of women. And what are the mannerisms of women? The manner of women are, after 60 years, you don't get no period anymore. Therefore, you don't have no eggs no more. Therefore, nothing can come in the womb, because there is no egg. There's no egg. There's no empty egg. There needs to be an empty egg for it to be filled up with the seed of man. Therefore, women give birth. They don't give life, because life comes from the man. But the Heavenly Father made her to be fruitful. So she was the child of promise, according to the book of Romans chapter 9, Galatians chapter 6, and also here, because it says that she is the birth of the promise, which I just read. This is the promise. Here, this is the promise. And you can read the rest for yourself if you have the time. So let me jump over to here. Right, so when it says Egypt, it actually says Mizraim. So these people, they call themselves, actually, what if this guy is calling himself a Mizraim? These mammals, They are calling themselves Mizraim. But you have to understand, they are Shemites. Well, he might be Edomite, that guy. This demon, might be Edomite because he is a Greek, but might be Edomite. But if he's not an Edomite, then he's an Ishmaelite. And he is not a Hamite. These are the people, the real Egyptians. They are now in the land of Sudan. I'm gonna give you an example because it says here that let me get that here. Sorry, where is it again? Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45. Where is it? I clicked it away. Probably clicked it away. Isaiah 45, right? Now it says here that Isaiah 45 and 14. Thus saith Yahweh, the labor of Egypt, Mizraim, and the merchandise of Ethiopia. Now those are Cush. Wait, let me see here. Isaiah 45 and 15. 45 and 15. No, 14, sorry. Ethiopia, which are Cushites. Here. Kawash, which is Cush. Kawash. So it literally says here, the labor of Mizraim, and the merchandise of Cush, and of the Sabians, which is here, which is in Kabaya. The people of Seba, which are Hamites, by the way, Ethiops. They are Ethiops also, because they burn face. A man, Seba, country sprung from Cush. Here, you see. So what are they? They're Hamites. They're sorry. I was looking at here. Sorry. They're Hamites because they are also from one of the other tribes of Cush. Right. So let me read it again. Seba, which is a man, right? And of a country. Sorry, not the end. Of a country and a nation sprung from Cush, which according to the Josephus seem to have from the province of Ethiopia flourishing in merchandise and wealth. So these people are Hamites, all three of them. Just like how you have, let me see, here, Elijah the Tishbite, Elijah the Tishbite. Where's the nation of Tishbite? Where is the tribe of Tishbite? There are no tribes of Tishbite. He was named after, let me see here, just like the same thing with the Sabians. That's the same thing. That's the point I'm trying to get. Elijah. That's the point I'm trying to make. Elijah, the Tishbite. Okay, cool cat. Captivity. Site unknown, but maybe the town of Tishbe. Right. So you have other Israelites that were named a certain name, be like, hey, why is he called that? That's because they named him after a certain region or a certain thing that happened to him. Then they called him after that. And then his people would then be the Tishbites, for example. Or yeah, stuff like that. And that's the same thing that happened here with the Sabians. Because they also come from Cush. But Mizraim does not come from Cush. He's just a different brother and their descendants. Cush and their descendants. Canaan and their descendants, and Put and their descendants, and stuff like that. And they got names just like how we got names with Elijah the Tishbite, for example. There's no tribe of Tishbites. Those are just what was Elijah again? I forgot which tribe Elijah was from. Ephraim. Elijah. He was from Ephraim, if I'm correct. Yeah, he was from the northern tribes. Yeah, which tribe was Elijah from? He was from Gilead. Wasn't shit. Okay, I'm not gonna. I forgot. If I'm correct, it was from Ephraim, or it was not Benjamin, of course, because that's the southern tribe. Anyway, let me go to another thing now. Right, so he was from there, and Ethiops mean burnt face. Well, I already showed it. It means burnt face in the Greek. Ethiopia was the land of black people, or land of people with burned faces, charred faces. You can see it. You can say it because it says right here what is charred. I just read that, by the way, the other time. Charred definition: burned and blackened. So that's not their race. They're not Ethiopians. Just like how we are not black people, by the way, because burned people. We have a name. Our name is the Israelites, and they have a name also, which is Cushites, not Ethiopians. And the Egyptians have a name also, Mizraim, not Egypt. That's just the cave monkey calling them that. Just like how they called Ethiopia, Ethiopia. But it's not a name. It's actually a word. Like, hey, what's up, burnt face? Hey, it's a bunch of burnt people over there, man. You see what I'm saying? So now, what would you call them? If I was to say it in the English, I would call them, hey, Bernie, or Blackie or whatever. Hey, Bernie, come over here. So now everybody would name them Bernies. Those are the Burns. Those are the Bernie people. That's what the word Ethiopia is, and the word Egypt also. What is Egypt also again? Spirit of Path. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Anyway, going on. It's Mizraim, by the way. That's their name. But oh yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. Wait, because it says here that the Mizraim were tall people, the Cushites were tall people, the Sabians were tall people, and I'm gonna show you right here that is the truth. Check this out. Right, for example, now I just went to number 3. And okay, so now you have these people over there.
Some of the darkest people on the continent of Africa.
Some of the darkest people on the continent of Africa.
The average man in Senegal has a height of 1.78 meters, while the average woman measures about 1.70 meters, making it the third African country.
Okay, now check this out. Now this is Somalia, which are the Ethiopians.
Number 2, Somalia. Average height 1.80 meters. Comica exceeds the 18 million percent of its meters. Average height.
Yeah, but they don't have real good pictures actually. But the tallest of them are the people in South Sudan, which are the real Egyptians, Mizraim. But I had a better. Sorry, wait. The tallest humans on the planet. Wait, let me. Right, I found actually the video that I wanted. I'm gonna put the link in the description box, of course, so you can check it out for yourself if you have the time. And then, of course, these are the Mizraim. These are very big people, by the way, man. These are very tall people. And here you can have these. You can see this female over here, and then these guys over here, which are This is young. I don't know if they're their children. I have no idea. It looks like it. I don't know. But then you have, of course, people of so-called normal height. But then I don't want you to get the idea like, wait a minute, it's just them, right? Because in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 9 verse 2, and he had a son whose name was Saul, a choice young man, and a goodly. And there was not among the children of Israel a goodlier person than he. For from his shoulders and upward, he was higher than any of the people. So Saul was the tallest man in Israel. Very big. He was very, very, very big compared to the Israelites. The rest of the Israelites. That's about a couple of hundred million, not 100 million, sorry, a couple of million people. He was the tallest of them. So does that mean that all Israelites were tall? No. Just like the same thing here. Not all Ethiopians are tall, but there are a lot of them are tall. Very tall.
The top 6 tallest African tribes. Welcome and remember
And by the way, Ethiopia and Somalia and Eritrea, those are Cushites. Because if you talk to them, of course I talk to them, ask them, hey, you're a Cush, right? Your ancestors is Cush. He would say, yeah. But what do they call them? Somalians. You see what I'm or Ethiopians or Eritrea. But you also have to understand, according to the book of Isaiah chapter 11 verse 11, you have Israelites in the midst of them. So and a lot of Eritrea people, when you see them, they actually look like Suriname people. I'm not playing. I look at them sometimes and be like, but I kind of know because they have this brown skin of theirs. They most of the time they brown, so I can kind of off of that know that they're not, our people. But sometimes I actually do make mistakes. I'll be like, "Hey, you from Suriname, right?" No, no, I'm from Eritrea. I'm like, "What? Hey, shit, you look like somebody in my family, man." you know, that's how they look. They actually look like us, man. I'm not playing. And those are the so-called Ethiopians. They really look like us, man. I'm not playing with you, man. I'm telling the truth. Eritrea people, they look like us, But then they really look like us, man. I'm dead serious with that.
To like this video and subscribe to Afrotista Films.
But anyway, okay, you have here the Somalians, stuff like that. They're very tall too.
The Somalis are an East Cushitic ethnic group native to the Horn of Africa who share a common ancestry, culture, and history.
Which is Kush. But anyway, you have the Anuk. Until this day they call themselves Anuk people. They're very tall too, and their women are very tall too.
Group in Africa, with the average male height being 5 feet 10 inches. Individuals have been recorded from this tribe with towering heights of above 7 feet.
7 feet, the women are tall. You have the Tutsis, which are even taller, which is the people that I just...
4.
These
Tutsi.
people. And they look like Ethiopians too sometimes, but you have a lot of dark ones of them. They look like They kind of look like each other often, but these people look like Somalians sometimes. Right?
Also, the newer people are
Anyway, so you have the Maasai people.
The Maasai diet.
Also tall, but these are the tallest, the ones of Sudan. They're very, very, very tall.
Bol to the tallest of
Even their women are. But they're tall and skinny. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, these are the people that the Lord is that spoke of them. They used to be bigger, by the way. These are the big females that I showed you on the hieroglyphs and stuff like that in the pictures that I showed you. Now going back to where is it again? Deuteronomy chapter 9. Verse 2. A people great and tall, the children of the Anakims, whom thou knowest, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard, saying, who can stand before the children of Anak? You can't fight them. Nobody could fight them until we did, and then we beat them up. But anyway, so these are the Hamites. I'm gonna put the link in the description box. These are the Hamites, which are let me see, I would say Cush, and I don't know if this is Cush, but I do know that they're Hamites, and these are the Egyptians, man. These are the biggest ones of them all. But of course, you had Canaanites that was also big. I would think the Messiah Canaanites, because look, these people don't drink blood. Like these people drink blood and cow milk and make cows piss on their head. They do this. Well, wait. Sorry, no. These are not the cow pisser, head pissers and stuff like that. Cow piss on African head. Go ahead, die. Wait. No. Those are not the Tutsis. Oh, sorry. Wait. No. I made a mistake. I don't know them 100%. I read up on them a little bit, but these are not the Maasai people. These are other tribes these are Canaanites too, man. They're fucking Canaanites, man. They let these cow piss on their hair, and then their hair turn yellow, like that. It's literally cow piss. It's literally piss yellow. That's what they do. This is what they do. That's what they do. These are Canaanites. But yeah, these are more sophisticated than that. And the Messiah also a little bit more sophisticated, but they do drink blood and cow milk and stuff like that. Raw, filthy shit. I think they Canaanites too, man. Get out of here, man. Whatever. But I don't know if they make their hair piss yellow. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, these are the Hamites. So let me finish it up quick. As I'm saying the whole time, quick. Right, Egypt, you have Niho. Oh yeah, the Japanese people. So do you think that the Japanese people call themselves Japanese? No. Esau named them because they call themselves Niho, or in the English form Nippon, right? But Niho is what they call themselves. Niho is Mina or something like that. Niho Mina. what do we call Japan in Japanese? Nippon or Nihon. While in the English it is called Japan. So it's the same thing with Egypt. It's Mizraim. And if these Ishmaelites say that they come from Abraham and Ishmael, how can you then therefore be from Mizraim? Mizraim is then Ham, which is Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan, which is another Hamitic tribe. Or forefather, I should say, actually, which made tribes. You know? Just like how Jacob made 12 tribes, that's the same way that they also made tribes. You know? Each one of them. Right. Let me see here. No, I already read that. The promised land, right? Because the land of Canaan, which became the land of Israel, used to be called the land of Canaan, which is the promised land. So there also you can see an example of how the name changing came concerning a land like Egypt. You know, just an example of a fact. The name of the land used to be called the land of Mizraim. Now it's called the Egypt. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So don't get tricked by these Arabs that want to be from a whole different bloodline, which is the bloodline of Ham. They are from the bloodline of Shem, and then therefore Abraham, Ishmael, and then them. And we are from from Shem, Abraham, and then Isaac and Jacob. And the Edomites, the Caucasian people, are from Shem, Abraham, and then Isaac, and then Edom. Right? So this is the book of Genesis chapter 9, verse 22. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the naked. Well, I don't have to read this. Canaan got the curse, and he will be a servant unto his brethren. That's why you see them until this day making their hair yellow like piss, from piss, literally piss yellow. That's exactly what they're doing. Piss yellow. That's what they do. Right. But yeah, the God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Yeah. Right. And as you can see, people of stature, going back to the book of Isaiah 45? Yeah, 45 and 14. Thus saith Yahweh, the labor of Egypt and the merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabians, men of stature. I just showed you that here. The tallest tribes, the Somalians, Dinka, Maasai, Nuer, Anuk, and Tutsi. And until this day, more than 3,000 something years later, they still have the name Anuk, which is spelled with a U right now. But then again, who told you that is how you spell it? This is English. These people probably don't spell it like that. Hey, you should think about that too. But then let me see if I'm done. Genesis 17, I already covered that. Oh yeah, you had the land of Ham, you had the land of Shem, and then you had the land of Japheth, which Japheth got Europe and Asia and stuff like that. Shem got the Middle East. Believe me, the Middle East is bigger than this nonsense what they show you right here. This is their version of how the world looks. And Ham got the biggest portion of them all, which is the continent of Africa. It needs to be, because there were a lot of big people over there. Even in the land of Israel, you had a lot of you had giants over there. Let me say giants, because that's what it is. You had giants over there. And of course, you had a lot of big people too, but, on the side of the giants too, right? Besides the giants. But you had big people and giants, here in that land here, because when the Israelites came to the land in the book of Numbers, you had giants living in that land, and then we killed them. Deuteronomy chapter 9 shows you that. Right? Let me see here. I already read that. Put this in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. And then you have Abraham went to Egypt. Oh yeah, here. Abraham, he went to Egypt. Here, Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now the Lord, this was before Ishmael was born. Now the Lord had said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, which was the land of Mesopotamia, if I'm correct, and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee, and I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Right, verse 5. And Abraham took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And one of his brothers was also called Haran, by the way. Abraham's brother was called Haran, but there was a city that was called Haran also. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came, which was then therefore after that called the land of Israel, but it was called the land of Canaan first. Same thing with Egypt. It's Mizraim. And then when the Egyptians, when these Edomites came, then they started to call those people Egyptians. And then therefore, this is their history that we are actually living in right now. So they're going to name things after what they want to name things, right? So it's the same thing with this mammal over here. This little chimp, he actually thinks that he's an Egyptian. You're an Edomite or a fucking Arab, man. You're not a goddamn fucking. You're not a Hamite, man. You're not an African, man. You know, you live in Africa, but you're not an African. You're an Ishmaelite. You belong in the Middle East. The same thing with Australia. Same thing with South America. Same thing with the continent of America. They're not supposed to be Edomites over there. Not supposed to be. But then again, this is their time. This is their time to reign. This is their time to spread lies upon the planet Earth. This is their time to deceive the world with their lies. Once that time comes, the Heavenly Father is going to chin check everybody, and he's going to straighten up everything again. And he's going to use the Israelites as his weapons of war and battle axes and swords. Just weapons of war and battle axes. We're going to break pieces and people in pieces. Micah chapter 4 shows you that also with the last verse, if I'm correct. Let me see here. Genesis 12 and 10. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, Behold, now I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon, very beautiful. And doesn't mean light skin, because if you have Edomite skin, it's not fair, because the sun kills you. So that's not fair, isn't it? I need to put some suntan lotion on my underfoot in order for me to be safe for the pending UV rays. I need to sunbathe, right, with my feet in the air, like how a dog lays on his belly. Yeah, right, like that. So when with my feet in the air, my palms too, for palm reader, right? Let the sun read my palms. Now it says here, verse 11, and it came to pass. Oh yeah, I already read that. I already read that. Sorry, verse 12. Therefore, it shall come to pass when the Egyptians. So wait a minute, there were already Egyptians. So that shows you that Abraham is not the father of Egyptians. Because how did he go to the Egyptians if he is the father of Egyptians? The reason I'm saying that is because these Arabs, they say that Abraham is their father. What a joke. Listen, you Ishmaelites, your mother is a Hamite. She's an Egyptian. She's a real Hamite, by the way. But that doesn't make you a Hamite, because you are what your father is. Maybe they want to have that argument like, hey, wait a minute, man. But Hagar is an Egyptian. You don't make a nation off of women, because Israel, when his name was changed into Israel, his name was Jacob. When he had children, he had 12 sons. Well, he had sons, and then therefore his son Joseph had 2 sons, which is Manasseh. Manasseh and Ephraim, right? Which is in that order. And those are still the sons of Jacob, because back in the days we used to call that our sons also. Your grandson is your son. That's why it's called grandson. The word son is still there. It's still your son. It's still your seed. It's still your duplication. It's still your copy. And there were no women Israelites. So how did they make the nation of Israel? They got the other women. So I can literally go and get myself a Cush woman and still make Israelites. I can literally go and get myself a Hawaiian female or whatever kind of Polynesian, whatever. I can still get them and still make Israelites. But they cannot make Israelites. It is not in existence. It doesn't exist. They can never make an Israelite because they are not Israelites. You are what your father is. I can never make a Moabite. I can never make a Chinese or an Arab. I can sleep with an Arab woman, then get children with her. Those children are not Arabs. They're mine. Those are my race, my genealogy, my copy, my duplicate, because I can multiply myself. I have semen. I have boys and girls in my ball sacks, and therefore I make you. You don't make me. I make you in my ball sack. So, women give birth. The Heavenly Father, first and foremost, gives life. But He gave life unto the man, and then therefore the man is able to make seed within himself, as you can find in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 29. And the power said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. Right. This is what I was actually looking for. I was looking like, wait a minute, that's not it. Genesis 1:11. And the power said, Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. The point of me reading this is because the Heavenly Father created the man in order to create seed within himself. Because when he is 12 years old, he doesn't have seed. Sorry, from 1 until 12 years old, he doesn't have seed. There's no sperm there. After that, the sperm comes. That's the seed. Just like how a plant is, or an apple. Wait, let me get that. Right, as you can see here, in the beginning, there is no seed. Let's say this is a boy that's just born. It's nothing there. It's nothing there. It's not there. Nothing is there. And then here it starts to grow. Actually, here. Sorry, here. It starts to grow within, because here it's empty. It's nothing there. You don't have any semen. You can bust nuts, but there's nothing coming out, right? And then you have this one is a little tiny seed forming, and then here it forms because it's cut in half, by the way. And here it's fully formed. It looked like a nutsack too, and therefore, and here it's hollow, and here it starts to pop up in, and here it's formed. So this one, around here you can start making babies around 12 years old. Let's say 12 years old, you're still fresh. Here you can see it too. 12 years old. Here is like from, between these two are from 1 or 0 years, between 0 and you could say 12, 11. Because around 12 years old, that's when you start to get semen. Around 12 years old. So yeah. So this is you, a man. So the seed grows within itself. That's what the Heavenly Father created with the trees and the plants, the vegetables and the fruit. Right. Well, it's the same thing with man. Men and man itself. The man is able to grow seed within himself. The Heavenly Father created it like that. That's what He did. That's what we got to roll with. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't want to roll with that. Of course they don't want to, because they want to worship the female. My mama gave me birth. Yeah, you said it right. No. My mama gave me life. No, she didn't. The sperm was alive when it went in there. If the sperm was dead, they wouldn't be... Where is it again? Did I put it? Where did I put it? They wouldn't be buying sperm. Blonde babies. Sperm trade booms as Brazilian seeks blonde babies. It's not Brazilian men are seeking the sperm. It's the females. And let that sink in. Why? Because they're childless. That's why. They're childless. That's why. They don't have no child. And they want to put it in me. That's what they're saying. They're not saying it like that, but they're actually saying it like that. And unless you explain to them, like, wait a minute, so you need my seed within you, so therefore, where did the children come from? It comes from me. I'm the one that gives it life. No, it's not, because if you buy dead sperm, you're not gonna even sell dead sperm. You need to go there, and they're gonna pull one off in a room, and then they're gonna analyze your semen, and they're gonna say like, well, your sperm is dead. We can't give you money for this because you got dead sperm. It's dead. It doesn't have life in it. They're not swimming around. They're not happy. Yeah, you need to. Yeah, you can't. You need to have live sperm. You know what I'm saying? It's some fake bullets. There's another term for it. Fake, not fake bullets, but dots or something. A dud. Or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna say shalom, if I'm correct, if I'm done. Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom. Oh yeah, these people are Arabs. They are Ishmaelites. They are not Egyptians. Egyptians are Hamitic people, and they're trying to steal their heritage, just like how Esau stole our heritage. They're trying to steal Hamitic heritage. That's why once that time comes, we're gonna let them Hamites own you. Let me get that real quick. Yeah, I'm coming up for them Hamites too, right? And for our people first and foremost. But I hate those fucking Ishmaelites, so I come up for them. I come up for the Hamites to fuck those Ishmaelites. They hate us too. You don't know what the fuck they're saying about us, man. Until this day, they call the Hamites and our people, they call them slaves in their countries and stuff like that. Habit and all that type of shit. That's just a little word for nigger. You see, it might not affect you, or it flows over your head. Like them coolies, they got a name for us too. Kafri, that's basically nigger, right? And Habib is also nigger. So they have all this shit. Wait, I got a picture for that. Right, so you got all these heathen nations. I don't know what this actually is because I can't read it. But I know they have a word for us too. The sucker that drew this cartoon should have put English. I mean, I can't read that. But they have a word for us, I don't have no Chinese friends, so I don't know what the word is. I never looked it up, by the way. Anyways, Deuteronomy 8:28 and 37, of course, they call us a byword, and akata, which is what the Hamites call us. You have Kushim, which is what the Amalekites call us. You have Kafir, which is what the Ishmaelites call us. And Habib also is also a slave. And nigger, of course, we already know that one. And the other nations have names for us too. But as you can see here, Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And also the book of Job. Job, chapter. It made also byword of the people. Here, Job chapter 30. If I'm correct, this one also is for us. But you have, for the Akata thing, I typed in Wesley Snipes Akata. There's a movie called Sugar Hill. And they call it Black American Cotton Picker. The Akata is basically, it means wild cat. Like we wild beasts to them. Akata, wild cat. It means, what does Akata mean? Cat who does not live at home, a wild cat. That is the actual definition for the Yoruba people, which are Israelites, by the way. They're Israelites. I don't know if you know. They don't know it neither. These are the ones that were not sold. Brothers. You have Israelites that didn't go into slavery like we did. They went into other type of slavery because they got killed by the Hamites and stuff like that. Jeremiah 29 and 16. Know that thus saith Yahweh, of the king that sitteth upon the throne of David, and of all the people that dwelleth in the city, and of your brethren that are not gone forth with you into captivity, into slavery. So even back in those days, you didn't have 100% of the Israelites that went into slavery. The West Africans, until this day, they went into other forms of slavery and wars and killings. They went to some shit. Esau went over there, started implementing malaria on them, AIDS, and all that type of shit. So they got what the fuck that was coming to them. But the princes and the nobles, they went into slavery. If you read the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30. No, sorry. Jeremiah chapter 34. If you read Jeremiah 34, verse 8, until the rest, until the end, you can read there what we did with each other, So these were Israelites selling Israelites, but when we came in slave boats from West Africa and Europe, by the way, don't forget Europe, Spain, Portugal, we were there too, and we were shipped from there as slaves to America, South America, and stuff like that. Those were Hamites selling Israelites. That's in the book of Amos, chapter 1. Amos chapter 1. It says that, if you read from here, let me see, wait. Damascus, which are Arab looking like type of people. Verse 6, Amos chapter 1 and 6. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, which were Hamites, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So you Hamites, you're gonna get visited by the Lord, and you Ethiopians gonna be slain by the Lord's sword too, because they carried away captive the whole captivity to deliver them up to Edom. This is the Bible. The Bible shows you that the Africans sold the Israelites to the Edomites, the Caucasian people. And let me see. The children of Ammon, they did it. They helped. You can read this chapter for yourself, but this is the point key. It was the Africans that sold us to the Edomites, the Caucasian people. Ashdod is also where Hamites were. Nowadays, Amalek is there. But yeah, you can read this chapter for yourself. And Edom broke the brotherly covenant when he enslaved us, because he was not allowed to do that. But he did. And therefore, he's going to be cut off according to the book of Obadiah chapter 1. And then according to the book of Obadiah chapter 1, extermination will come for the house of Esau. So you brought that upon yourself. So, yeah. But yeah, the Akata thing. Akata is a cat who does not live at home. And guess what? They call us that because we don't have a home, according to them. Even though Africa is not their home neither. But they think they're home. Just like how the American slave descendants think they're home too. And South American slave descendants think they're home too. The slave descendants in Europe, they think they're home too. They know they're not, though. But they have been born here, lived long here, so they really think they're home. They really believe that they're home. Especially in America. You can't get that nigga back to Africa. Go back to Africa. I am home. Yeah, but it's funny. They could call us that, but once that time comes, they're gonna be shocked. Like, I didn't know. Yeah, you're gonna be shocked. And of course, there's Hamites in the midst of Yoruba. So not all of the Yorubites are Israelites, but a big portion of them are. Don't get that twisted. Right? But this is what the word akata mean. And I had another picture, if I'm correct, in my head, but oh yeah, this is one. This is not a picture. I had something in my head according to the movie Wesley Snipes Sugar Hill. I don't want no copyright, so.
Any motherfuckers, man, like.
Okay, you can already see that their skull structure is different.
How you doing?
I gotta stop the video from time to time so that it doesn't, so that the software doesn't pick it up.
Well, we've been thinking about this, Renatan, and it won't work. We can't work.
We can't work. He don't want to do the deal, right?
I got that. You do your thing.
Wait.
He's a great actor, by the way. And he too, by the way. But he's really good. He's really good too, but yeah, he's really passionate. He's passionate, what the fuck. Sorry.
Busy man.
I understand. This is not a personal thing. It is something we cannot do it.
Hey! Man, wrong, man. Calm down, man. Just calm down.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Look,
My brother was under the impression that you wouldn't. Don't take this personally, Romero. It won't work. You do your thing, I do my thing. You know? It won't work. We can't work with Akata.
We can't work with Akata, right?
Akata. What is this Akata shit?
Because he kept on saying it and shit like, what the fuck is Akata, man? What's that?
Like American? Oh shit. Cotton picker.
Yep, and there it goes. So it's not sorry, it's not necessarily cotton picker, but it could be used as that too. But it's more the true definition. Like I said, you need to check out the true definition of where that word actually comes from. It is a cat who does not live at home, a wild cat. And people say like, oh yeah, the Black Panthers and stuff like that, because we used to be Black Panthers and we're wild and stuff. No. It's just a homeless cat. It doesn't a wanderer. Literally the wandering Jews. You don't have a home. America's not your home. South America is not your home. I was born there, but it's not my home. Europe is not your home. I live here, but it's not your home. We are basically Akatas. We are a homeless, houseless, restless nation. But the Lord said this, the last one. Oh no, I think it's the Lord shall give thee rest. 40 could be here too. No, then it's here. Isaiah 41 and wait. Sorry. Jeremiah 30 and 10. Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. Because in the book of Deuteronomy 28, we are afraid among the nations whom we are amongst. Our people are afraid. Because they band together when there's the fight, and our people don't band together. But that time will soon end, and they will be afraid of us. That's why they're trying to divide and conquer us, and it's working. And our people want it themselves too. They created the light skin versus dark skin war, and it is the light skin versus the dark skin war, because until this day, the dark skinned people they find the light skinned people beautiful. They call them beautiful. They make jokes like, how can you be light skinned and ugly at the same time? What they're doing is they're actually telling you that Esau is so beautiful that when it comes up in a nigga, then you're a pretty nigga too. That's actually what they're saying. But it was the house niggas that hated your guts and didn't want to be dark and stuff like that. And Esau used that. Sorry. Esau created that. And then he let them loose, and they started the fight. They furthered the fight. But that's according to the curses that we have amongst each other. And the speckled bird. We fighting each other too. We did it back then, and we're doing it now. But it's gonna be put to an end. All that nonsense is gonna be brought to nothing, to an end, to north. And the scriptures is one of the ways to connect us back together, because we're not all gonna look like my main man Wesley Snipes, my brother over here. We're not all gonna look like Wesley Snipes, and we're not all gonna look like this brother over here. But we are gonna look like them, like this, and we are also gonna look like this. Great example, like this. Sicilianos and stuff like that. We are gonna look. Some of us are gonna look like them. Let me see if there's more pictures. Some of us are gonna look like that. Yeah, like this, for example. Some of us are gonna look like this. Those are the Italians. Some of us are gonna look like this. Those are a Mexicano tribe or something like that. He's mixed Mexican, Polynesian. I just looked him up a couple of days ago. But yeah, I think I don't know if his father is a Mexican. I'm not sure. I didn't look that up. I just looked up what race is he. So yeah. Some of us are gonna look like them because if I'm correct, this guy has a Chinese wife, and of course the children don't look like the children will not look like him, and they will not look like her. I'm not sure if I don't think this is his wife, but there's a lot of Jakes in West Africans. West Africans. He's a West African. There's a lot of West African Jakes in China making children with them now. This is that new age, So living in China, black in China, learn Chinese as a beginner, whatever. And yeah, they're doing these things, So not all of us are gonna look like these two, and not all of us are gonna look like these two. By the way, these four are Israelites. They just put it down as if there's a division among us, and then they think they're more pure than you. No, you're not. You mix with Hamites. So yeah. But then again, you are what your father is, because we also mix with Hamites. How? Manasseh and Ephraim, they have a Mizraim mother. And let me see. You have Judah. You're mixed with a Canaanite. Your mother is a Canaanite, Tamar. She played the whore. She actually had sex as a whore, but she was not a whore, as in, as her job. She just played the whore one time. One time. One time. Yeah, she played the whore one time. So it was not her occupation, but she actually did play the whore. She got paid for sex, so she did play the whore. So that's your mother. Not trying to be disrespectful. But let me see. I forgot who took an Ishmaelite. Which one of the 12 sons took an Ishmaelite? Let me see. What more? So you have Hamites. Yeah, of course. Tamar is a Canaanite. And the mother of Manasseh and Ephraim is a Mizraim, is a Hamite also, Mizraim, and the Canaanite is a Hamite too. So yeah, the point of me saying all that is that we have had women of other nations and children with them, and that doesn't mean that we are all gonna look like this. And you're not pure. Because the Africans love to say that they're pure until I explain something to them. Whether they believe it or not, it doesn't matter. Some of them believe, and they know, because I use the scriptures, and they're very, very believing in the Bible. So sometimes you can explain it to them like, yo, this is who you are, and this is who we are, and we are actually one. We're all supposed to be, and all that type of stuff. But anyway, so yeah, that is the thing. Not all Israelites are gonna look like this. These four, some of them are gonna look like the Al Pacino guys, and some of them might even look like the Mel Gibson guys and stuff like that. But yeah, you are what your father is. That is the point. Some of them are gonna look like these Chinese people, Japanese people. This is Japanese, by the way, and this is Chinese, by the way. Yeah. Sometimes I could see it right away. And it says it right here. Hiroshima is Japan. And China, he says China. It's China. It's Moab. Ammon and Moab. Right. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom. I'm going to put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself.